We're pleased to be with Jodie Emery, marijuana activist and political activist here at the Cannabis Life Conference. Jodie, thank you for being here with us.
Oh, thanks for having me on.
So let's talk from the very beginning, your story and why you're advocating cannabis here in Canada and also around the world.
Well, my husband, Marc Emery, is very well known. He's the Prince of Pot. And years ago in the 1990s, he started selling marijuana books and magazines because they were illegal, and he wanted to challenge that law. And he challenged many laws with peaceful civil disobedience. So he started selling cannabis seeds and bongs and pipes and everything related to cannabis, but illegally. And you'd be arrested and charged and go to court and challenge it. So my husband and I have both been doing this sort of model in the last year, where we ran cannabis retail stores for recreational use, but I did get arrested and charged, and I'm facing very serious punishments. However, up until that point, I was the magazine editor for Cannabis Culture magazine. I've run for office with the BC Green Party twice. I sought a Liberal Party of Canada nomination. So I'm a very well-known, high-profile political activist for cannabis, and I've been doing it for 13 years. My husband, Marc Emery, has been doing it for much longer, and he even served 5 years in U.S. prison for selling seeds and raising millions of dollars that were given away to the movement throughout the 90s and 2000s.
Right. It is very blurred. We don't know if it's illegal. We don't know if it's legal. We don't know if cannabis out there that people are using on the streets are being allowed, right? So what is your thought on this?
Well, there's so much confusion about cannabis right now, and that demonstrates the unfairness and the injustice of prohibition. I mean, why is it criminal for some people but not for others? It's the same flower, it's the same plant, it just offers aid to those who are ill, and it offers aid to those who want to use it spiritually or socially or for whatever reason. So there's all this confusion because hemp exists and hemp is legal, but only if you have a license from the government, and that's what they're trying to do with marijuana that you smoke and consume. They only want the government cannabis to be legal, government-approved companies with Health Canada, and yet that excludes the existing industry, the growers, the dispensaries, all of the victims of prohibition who have been trying to survive under a criminalization regime that has victimized millions of people in so many ways. And myself, after getting arrested, I had to sign up with a licensed producer, with a doctor, to get a legal license for medical use, even though I don't have a specific ailment. But in order to have the legal protection, I had to do that, and a lot of people are doing it too. So yeah, why is it legal for some and not others? And that's part of the confusion that we need to address.
Now, for someone who's so in the industry, what do you hope to see coming up for users in Canada and also around the globe?
Well, my ideal, I'll tell you what the best model would be to have cannabis available everywhere. Right now we have a crisis of opioids, and I believe we have a crisis of oversaturation of alcohol for young adults, for university students, and it contributes to all sorts of crimes and violence and illness and death. So we need to substitute painkiller opiates and destructive alcohol with cannabis. We should be promoting it everywhere. So I foresee a future where no one is arrested for marijuana, that there are no criminal penalties for it. If you want to buy it at a farmer's market, that would be an option. If you want to buy a commercially produced mega licensed grower strain, that's fine too. But we should allow everybody to have a place in this industry. There's enough room for everyone. And although I often say that it's not fair for people to think they're reinventing this industry, that it already exists. That's one of the reasons we're legalizing it, is because this multi-billion-dollar industry already does exist, but there's still room for newcomers. There's still more room for entrepreneurs and new industries and expanding on the industrial use and medical. So join on board, but don't exclude others. And my concern right now is that some people are looking to lock out the competition, the activists and those who help build the industry, and they're also even looking to lock us up in prison so that we can't take part in the industry either. So that has to change, and I believe there is room for everyone.
Really interesting. Now, lastly, where is your husband now? What's happening to Marc Emery at this time?
Well, my husband, Marc, and I are living here in Toronto. Our bail conditions require that we live here. We're not allowed to leave the province of Ontario. I'm allowed to go to Vancouver if I let the police know. But at this time, our conditions are extremely strict. So Marc is here in Toronto right now. We're both trying to take it easy. We can't run our stores. I can't run my Cannabis Culture magazine. I can't even go to my headquarters in Vancouver, where I've been for 13 years. That's our political party headquarters. It's our office. It's our home. And right now, I'm banned from going to any cannabis culture store. I can't go to dispensaries. I can't help any dispensaries open. I'm not allowed to talk to my co-accused, who are also my best friends and fellow activists. And so Marc and I are both being put on ice right now. We're being kept out from being able to participate in the industry. But we've been through hard times before. Like I said, he's been in U.S. prison. He was facing life and got 5 years. I think we'll survive whatever comes.
Right. Well, Jodie, thank you so much for sharing today. For more coverage from the Cannabis Life Conference, you can go to smallcappower.com.